one thing that I've noticed is that all narcissists are copycats. They don't have no form of originality. That's because they're just like their father, the devil, who is the counterfeit, who wants to be like God. He has no identity of his own. He copies other people's identity, try to copy other people's work and what they do, and he tries to duplicate it. He's not original. Good morning. He's not original. And when you really start to pay attention to narcissists, a lot of them move the same exact way. They don't, even when it comes to their careers, they see what somebody else is succeeding at, and then they want to go copy it too, thinking that they're going to be able to do it just like them. And then when they don't do it just like them, and they don't succeed like that person that they're copying, then they begin to envy that person because they find that person better than them. They're really weird in the head. They're really weird, but it's not even in the head. It's a spiritual thing. It's a spiritual thing. Like, if you pay attention to the theme in the Bible, and this is why narcissists often get with empaths, we're the chosen ones. They get with the chosen ones to try to imitate our likeness, because we have divine likeness. They have counterfeit likeness. They are their father. They're the devil. We're God. God is our father. The devil is their father. We are God's children, which is why they always after us. They want to bring us over to the dark side like them. So once you understand that they try to imitate you, then when they fail at it, they begin to hate you. They first come in trying to mirror you so you can like them, so you can think that they are just like you and you can welcome them in. And then once you welcome them in, they take their mask off and show you that, no, I'm nothing like you. I'm the complete opposite of you. I'm the complete opposite of you. But then they try to mock you and tear you down because they're not like you. So when you pay attention to the theme in the Bible, everything that God's chosen ones in the Bible, all the prophets, all his servants, Moses, Elijah, everybody in the Bible, anything that they did, just like the whole thing with Pharaoh and Moses when they had to do when they had to do the wonders or whatever to get the children of Israel, when God told Moses, and that's been the theme of this week in my membership, is that what God told Moses, y'all better make sure y'all join the membership, because it's only gonna get better. It's only gonna get better. We heating up because it's grounded off of biblical principles, because y'all need to realize that we literally live in the Bible out. Okay, but when you because if you really want to understand the dynamic between the narcissist and the empath, and the light versus the dark, and the whole real spiritual aspect behind this worldly terminology, you need biblical understanding. You need to see what happened in the Bible. But if you see how the theme in the Bible, when, especially more specifically with Moses and Pharaoh, when God told Moses to go up to Pharaoh and work out these signs and wonders to Pharaoh, to show Pharaoh who really got the power, and that Moses was in fact being used and sent by God himself. So, and every time that Moses did hit one of the plagues of the lice, the plagues of the frogs, turning the stick into the serpent and all of that, Pharaoh tried to copy and do the same exact thing, signifying that I can do whatever you can do, just like the enemy does, just like narcissist does. I can do whatever you can do. But every time Moses did it better. And then there were certain ones that Moses did that he could not duplicate. And at that point, he realized who was really the most powerful. So I say all this to say is, they're copycats, and they're copying you and imitating you. And when they cannot duplicate what you do, they will begin to hate you. You are a threat to them, and they are intimidated by you. But you do not take it personal, because none of this stuff is personal, baby. It's all spiritual. And that's why it's so important for chosen ones, for us to get out of the hatred and bitterness that you have in your heart towards a narcissist, and realize what a narcissist is sent in your life to do. It's not personal, it's spiritual. You're being used, baby. You're being used. So it's nothing personal. And this is why God will use us. He has chosen us to go up against such dark entities. He's used us to be the vessels to go up against them. Yeah, you can take that stuff off of there. He's used us to go up against them. This is why you cannot be afraid to go up against them. You cannot be afraid to walk out in your power, because exercising your power shows them something. Okay, it shows them something. Just like Like how with Jezebel, he used a chosen one to go destroy that girl. And this is why I tell y'all, like, all this kumbaya stuff that this Christianity talk, nah, this is a real war we against. Because who had to kill Jezebel? Jehu had to kill Jezebel by order of the Lord to go kill off that demonic entity of Jezebel who was ruining the population. So y'all gotta really wake up, and this is why it's important to really read the Bible for yourself, have true understanding, and let God lead you. Because this is a real battle we're in. We're really not wrestling against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against spiritual wickedness in higher places. This is the rulers of darkness that we're facing. And rulers of darkness is trying to go up against the rulers of the light. And we're going to always win. We're going to conquer. And that's why God be raising us up. So you can stop being so chicken, being a little chicken little, acting like you, stop acting like that. Because you're much more stronger and braver and mightier than they are. Anybody that's God's chosen one is much more mightier than the other side. And that's a fact. That's why, once again, y'all better go read that Bible. Go read your book. For the Hebrew women are much more mightier than we. They know. The chosen ones, anyone that God choose, his chosen race, his chosen people, the chosen ones, you're always much more mightier than the other side. You just don't know your might because you let liars tell you who you are. And this is why you need an identity restoration. And if you need one, y'all better come join that membership so I can restore you to great health and great sound mind, body, and soul, baby. All right. You know, that's why you gotta be okay moving at your own speed. I just saw the turtle over there, and every time I see the turtle, that's spiritual significance to me about slow and steady, because sometimes you'll see what other people doing out here and you'll start comparing yourself to them, not realizing that you're in your own lane, and it's okay to be in your own lane. Sometimes God is having you to go the slow and steady route for a reason, because there's things that he needs you to learn. So you can't spend your time trying to compare yourself to other people, seeing what they doing and feeling like you're behind and like you're not doing enough. No, you're right where you're supposed to be, right on time. And in due time, you will get to your next level. There's some things that God just needs you to learn at the level you're at, because you're going to need that to take it to the next level where he's taking you to. So don't spend your time comparing and competing with other people and causing secret competitions for people who don't even know that they was in a competition in the first place. That's just not a good trait to have. And it's so easy to have it when you see what everybody else out here is doing, when your eyes is on everybody else except having your eyes on your own life. And this is why I say you have to have some level of self where you do focus on yourself, where you stop making your focus on everything and everybody outside of you, because everybody and everything outside of you is not going to give you what you truly need internally, nor in the physical, especially if you're surrounded by narcissists. They're going to do anything to keep you from obtaining the very things that you want, because they know you're relying on them. They have the ability to starve or feed you, and that's not your portion. You never give nobody the ability to starve or feed you. So you have to spend time on yourself, doing the dirty work, doing the hard work. And though it might take time, you be okay with it taking that time. You be okay with it taking that time, because slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. As a person who was used to everything being fast, moving fast, especially when you're a part of hustle culture, and you know, if you came out of a hustle background, no matter what type of hustle you was doing, when you get out of that, when God bring you out of that and bring you into a season of stillness, it's much different. And you're going to sometimes feel like you're behind. You're going to sometimes feel like you're not doing enough. You're going to feel like you're nothing. You're going to start to have, it's going to take a hit on your self-esteem, and then even on your self-worth. But you cannot equate your attributes, your physical attributes, the things that you're acquiring, your achievements and things, to your sense of self, to your worth. Those things boost confidence, but they don't. Y'all need to make sure y'all in a mentorship, because we definitely broke down this in the first lesson, the self-worth lesson, the difference between self-confidence, self-esteem, and self-worth. And people use them interchangeably, and they're not the same. They're not the same. You can have high confidence with low self-worth and low self-esteem. So make sure y'all join the mentorship and watch that lesson. But you cannot determine your value off of materialistic things. And this is why when he sends you into the wilderness, he strips you from all those materialistic things, them superficial things, so you can get a grounded sense of self, which many people, especially if you were raised in narcissistic families, or if you are a narcissist yourself. But a lot of times, even with narcissists, that's why they have an inflated ego. That's like it's a false ego that they had that tells them that they're this and they're that, but really, like, their true self is the exact opposite. And you have a distorted identity. That's why it's a major identity crisis going on in this world. Major identity crisis, because the world, society at large, because this is a narcissistic society. I mean, narcissism is rampant in the society. It's led, most of the leaders are narcissists. And so the way that they tell people that they have to be, they put these expectations on you, telling you got to go to school, you got to do this to be deemed worthy in this world, you must acquire these things, you must do that. So it has everybody chasing, running after something that's not even necessarily for them, or something that's not even tangible for them, you know. So it's just like, so you really have to come out of that. And this is why God will isolate his chosen ones. His chosen ones, he will set you apart, because you are set apart. You're not called here to walk the path most traveled. You're called here to walk the path less traveled. You're called here to do something different. You were set aside and appointed and paid for a price to do something different. So that's why you have to embrace your unique path. You cannot spend your time comparing yourself to worldly people. You can't spend your time comparing yourself to narcissists. And a lot of times they still kill and destroy just to get where they are. Okay? They don't have originality. So when God is setting you apart for a season, it's so that he can give you your sense of self, so your identity can be grounded on truth and not on lies like the world is grounded on. So you got to count it all joy. Be okay with your process. Be okay with being set apart. Be okay with your season of stillness, where everything is not moving so fast, and don't feel like you're behind just because you're not where the next person is.